Welcome back to the deep dive. We often think about integration as this purely technical thing, maybe even a bit of a headache connecting systems.
Yeah, a necessary evil sometimes.
Right. But what if it's actually shifted? What if it's now like a major strategic driver for businesses?
That's exactly what our source material is getting at today.
Yeah, it highlights this incredible market growth. We're looking at the global data integration market jumping from, around $15 billion this year?
To potentially over $47 billion by 2034. That's a huge leap, over 12% CAGR.
Exactly. And that kind of growth isn't just about plugging System A into System B anymore, is it?
No way. It suggests integration is becoming absolutely vital for, well, survival and growth, really. Especially with, all the sauce apps everyone uses and these complex hybrid IT setups.
So the problem identified is that the old ways of doing integration, they just can't keep up.
They're often too stiff, too complicated, or just too disconnected from the actual business teams who need things connected.
Right.
Yesterday.
Creates bottlenecks, slows everything down.
Precisely. Which hampers innovation, agility, all the things businesses need right now.
Okay, so that sets the stage for our mission in this deep dive. We're digging into insights shared by Ulf Persson at SEEBURGER, specifically around the evolution of their main offering, the Business Integration Suite, or the BIS Platform.
Right, this concept they're calling integration evolved.
So what is this evolution exactly? How does it tackle that complexity we just talked about? And crucially, what does it actually mean for IT teams and for the wider business? Let's unpack it.
Well, the core idea, integration evolved, it really boils down to simplifying things, speeding up automation, and enabling, let's say, smarter integration. But importantly, doing all that at enterprise scale.
And it's not starting from scratch, right? They're building on their existing BIS foundation, the one lots of companies already use.
Correct. It's the same trusted foundation, but they're adding new layers of flexibility, accessibility, scalability, and even intelligence.
The source mentions one platform, full flexibility. What does that mean in practice? Is it just one giant piece of software?
No, not really. It's more about a modular architecture. So you can tailor the integration capabilities you need for specific business requirements without adding unnecessary complexity. It's designed to be adaptable.
Okay, so whether you're, say, automating B2B processes with partners, or maybe connecting cloud apps, or handling really high volume transactions.
Yeah, the platform aims to provide the right tools for the job, all from that single unified foundation.
Got it. And they break this down into three main ways the platform delivers integration, three components.
That's right. BIS Hub, BIS Server, and BIS Accelerator Services.
And the key thing, you mentioned it briefly, is that they all run on a shared platform architecture.
That's absolutely critical because it means you get unified assets like maps and connectors, consistent governance rules, and AI assistants working across all of them.
Which enables that build once, deploy anywhere idea.
Exactly. You design your integration logic once, maybe in the cloud interface, and then you can deploy it wherever it needs to run in the cloud, in your data center, or wherever.
That sounds incredibly efficient, like a universal translator for integration deployment. Okay, let's get into those components. First up, BIS Hub. The source says it's built for both business and IT.
BIS Hub is positioned as their cloud-native, low-code workspace. And its main goal, which is pretty interesting, is to sort of bridge that gap between business teams who need connections quickly.
And IT who need control and governance.
Precisely. It puts them in a shared environment, but with tools that are suited to each group.
Okay, so how does that play out? What's the experience like for, say, someone in marketing versus an IT specialist?
Well, for a business user marketing, HR, finance, you name it, the source highlights these intuitive low-code tools. There's AI-assisted mapping, which we should definitely talk more about later.
Yeah, definitely.
And pre-built connectors for common SaaS apps, things like Salesforce, Workday, HubSpot, the tools they use every day.
So the big win for them is?
They can actually connect these apps and automate workflows themselves without needing deep coding skills and, crucially, without waiting in line for IT resources.
Okay, that directly tackles that bottleneck issue we mentioned. Empowering the business users seems key to speeding things up.
It is, but, and this is important, it doesn't mean IT loses control.
Right. How does that balance work? Because you still need security, governance.
Absolutely. So while the business users get the agility with the low-code tools, the IT specialists get a full-featured IPS environment within the hub. This is where they manage the serious stuff.
Like complex orchestrations, data transformation.
Exactly. Setting up security policies, ensuring governance, monitoring everything, getting that enterprise-level visibility and scalability. IT basically defines the playground and the rules.
Okay, so IT sets the guardrails, provides the secure platform, manages the core complexity, and the business users can operate more independently within that framework using simpler tools for their specific needs.
You got it. IT becomes more of a strategic enabler, less of a gatekeeper for every single connection.
The examples in the source make sense then, like marketing connecting CRM and campaign tools on their own, or HR automating onboarding across different systems.
Yeah, and IT still has that central oversight and control. Business users become integration contributors, not just requesters.
So to sum up BIS Hub, fully managed cloud service, low code, AI support, shared governance, fast SaaS integration. It's about speed and empowerment, with IT providing the safety net.
That's a good way to put it. Accelerating business initiatives while keeping things secure and compliant.
Okay, that covers the hub. Now, what about BIS Server? This sounds like it caters to a different set of requirements.
It does. BIS Server is where you get that full-featured integration power, but in a self-operated environment. Think enterprises with really advanced needs.
Needs like maximum control, maybe regulatory compliance, data sovereignty issues.
Precisely. Companies dealing with highly sensitive data or complex stateful B2B processes, maybe deep ERP integration, these often need to run within their own infrastructure, be it on-prem or private cloud.
The source mentions global manufacturers, financial institutions.
Yeah, those are typical examples. Places where keeping data and operations tightly controlled is non-negotiable. BIS Server gives them that control and flexibility, but it's still designed for scalability and innovation.
And technically, how does it deliver that? What's under the hood?
The source highlights its container-native architecture. It supports Kubernetes deployment. For IT teams, this is significant.
Because it fits with modern DevOps practices, easier scaling.
Exactly. You can manage it using modern tooling, scale it horizontally to handle big workloads, and it fits well into those evolving hybrid IT environments where things run in different places.
Now, a really important point for existing customers. The source emphasizes a seamless path for them. No replatforming. That's huge.
It really is. Replatforming is often the biggest pain point when adopting new technology versions. Avoiding that is a massive benefit.
Means they can build on what they already have, their existing investment.
Correct. The BIS Server highlights reflect this. High availability, scaling, broad protocol support, AS2, OFTP2, FFTP, REST, SOAP are mentioned, covering lots of B2B needs.
Centralized monitoring, policy management, and that container readiness.
Right. It's enterprise-grade power with the control enterprises need, plus a clear upgrade path.
So BIS Hub is speed and accessibility, mostly cloud. BIS Server, power and control, self-hosted, smooth path for existing users. The takeaway is power with control where you need it.
Well said. Then the third piece is the BIS Accelerator Services.
These are add-ons, right? Optional extras.
Yes, exactly. Think of them as ways to get expert help or pre-built components to move even faster or tackle specific, tricky challenges.
Giving you a boost.
Sort of. They provide expertise, best practices, pre-configured content, specialized support, basically helping you get more value out of the platform quicker.
What kind of examples did this source give?
Things like pre-configured partner profiles. That can dramatically cut down B2B onboarding time because the templates for connecting to specific trading partners are already there.
Okay, that makes sense. Less setup time.
Right. Also, AI-powered mapping migration, helping move from older mapping formats to the newer BIS standard more efficiently. Specialized mapping services for complex cases, 247 support options, application management services if you want SEEBURGER to help run things.
Even things like ransomware recovery assistance in their cloud.
Yeah, a range of services designed to reduce complexity and accelerate results, leveraging their experience.
And these are available whether you're using the hub or the server, cloud or self-hosted.
That's the idea. They tailor the help to your chosen model.
Okay, let's circle back to something you mentioned earlier. AI. It seems to play a significant role, but the source stresses a particular philosophy. AI that assists humans.
Yes, this seems to be a key part of their strategy. The AI is built to enhance human expertise, focusing on providing governed, explainable assistance primarily at design time.
Design time. So when you're actually building the integrations, not when they're running live.
Exactly. The focus isn't on having AI make autonomous decisions during runtime, which, could be unpredictable in complex enterprise scenarios. It's about making the humans building the integrations faster and more accurate.
Why is that distinction, design time versus runtime, so important for integration?
Well, think about critical business processes, like B2B transactions or ERP updates. Errors there can be incredibly costly. You need absolute predictability, auditability, and control.
Makes sense. Runtime AI might be too much of a black box for those critical flows.
Potentially, yeah. Design time AI, as they describe it, suggests things mapping logic, code snippets, configurations, but the human expert reviews, tweaks if necessary, and ultimately approves it before deployment. You keep that crucial oversight and explainability.
So you get the speed boost from AI suggestions, but the reliability comes from human validation and the proven BIS execution engine.
That seems to be the approach. Best of both worlds.
What specific AI features did they mention?
Let's see. An AI mapping assistant that suggests mapping logic and explains why. An integration asset assistant to help create reusable content more accurately. A code generator for JavaScript snippets. And a configurator assistant to streamline setup with smart defaults.
And these would be especially helpful in BIS Hub, right? For those business users.
Absolutely. It provides that guided experience within the low-code environment, making integration more accessible.
And the results they're claiming, up to 60% time savings on repetitive tasks.
Yeah, that's a significant claim. Plus, benefits like consistency, explainability, because it's suggestions, not commands, and it fits within a governance framework because humans are in the loop. Execution remains secure and repeatable via the core BIS engine.
A 60% saving on tasks like mapping, that's a huge productivity gain. Faster time to market, lower costs. Okay, so we've covered the hub, the server, the accelerators, and AI. How does a company actually get started? What's the path, especially for existing customers?
For new users, they emphasize a simple start via the SEEBURGER Cloud Portal. You can explore, test things out, activate services, sort of a try-before-you-buy feel.
Low barrier to entry.
Seems like it, with ready-to-run assets to help you get going on specific use cases. And they explicitly say, no migration mandates, no lock-ins. Start smart, grow as you need.
Which is appealing, especially with so many companies hitting these integration walls for the first time, and for existing customers. We touched on the seamless path for BIS Server.
Right. For existing customers, the message is really about leveraging and extending their current investment, whether that's on-prem, private cloud, or using their existing cloud services.
This is where build once, deploy anywhere really comes into its own for them.
Exactly. They can use the new cloud-based design tools like the Integrator Workspace, the AI assistants, to create or modernize integrations.
But deploy them to their existing BIS runtime, wherever that might be.
Precisely. It allows them to adopt modern capabilities like web mapping, AI assistance, new governance features, incrementally, step by step, without having to rip and replace their core infrastructure or disrupt critical processes.
So their established integrations can run side by side with new cloud-enabled ones, and they can manage and monitor everything centrally.
That's the picture painted in the source. A clear, supported way to tap into innovation without the usual pain of replatforming. It adapts to your strategy and timeline.
It definitely sounds like they've thought hard about the different realities businesses face, the need for cloud speed versus on-prem control, empowering different kinds of users, respecting those past investments.
That flexibility seems central to their integration evolved message.
So wrapping up, the source reminds us SEEBURGER has been doing this for a long time, almost 40 years, helping companies move data safely and reliably.
And this evolution seems focused on moving beyond just reliable transfer to helping companies move data smarter, giving them a platform for agility, scale, and whatever the future of integration throws at them.
They're positioning BIS as more than just integration tech. It's a strategic foundation for secure, scalable, and intelligent digital transformation.
It really hammers home that initial point integration isn't just plumbing anymore. It's a core business driver.
Integrating faster, governing better, empowering more people across the organization. That seems to be the goal.
Yeah, connecting what matters, but in a smarter way.
So thinking about this whole package, the low-code tools for business users, the self-operated control for complex stuff, the AI helping out, the accelerator services, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How could this kind of integrated, flexible approach fundamentally change how your business collaborates internally, and maybe more importantly, how it connects with all those essential external partners in today's environment?
It definitely prompts a rethink of what's possible with your integration strategy, moving it from a cost center to a strategic advantage.
Something to consider. That's our deep dive for today.